Namaste. My name is Minal Ghodkar and we are going to understand some of the most important skills that we need to focus on to make our professional and personal life meaningful. Here is a brain teaser. How many holes does this t-shirt have? Take your time. The answer is 8. Let's pick this apart and see why many people have difficulty with brain teaser and so many others. With this teaser, it's easy to overlook details or accept them without questioning. There were several details included that we may have paid too much attention to, and some are ignored. With hindsight, we realize that at a first look, we can count 2 holes. Some more thinking will give you answer as 6 holes. But forgot the tender t-shirt, right? Now count 2 more holes at the back. This teaser seems too easy, but there are many things at our workplace or personal life which make us think in a different way. Every day, a sea of decisions stretches before us. Amazingly, the average person makes 35,000 conscious decisions every day. Some are small and unimportant, but others have a larger impact of our lives. For example, how can I work better to achieve the Star Performer Award? Should I try the latest diet craze? Or will email make me a millionaire? Wow! We are bombarded with so many decisions that it's impossible to make perfect choice every time. There are several ways to think and improve our chances, and one particularly effective technique is critical thinking. This is a way of approaching a question that allows us to carefully deconstruct a situation, reveal its hidden issues such as bias and manipulation, and make the best decision. Critical thinker will think of all available options to scrutinize and rationalism rather than choosing an answer because it just feels right. There are many different ways of approaching critical thinking, but first, ask these questions to yourself. Who is doing what, and what is the reason behind it? What are the end results, or who is getting benefited? To find answer to these questions, you need to focus on some main aspects, and those are analyzing, reasoning, evaluating, problem solving, and decision making. Now the question is, why it is so much important? Critical thinking ensures that you have the best answer to the question, an outcome which will ultimately save your business time, money, and stress. They make the best decisions most often. And in the workplace, where choices about how to complete tasks, communicate information, relate with co-workers, and develop strategy are so common, critical thinkers are extremely valuable. No matter who you are or what position you are holding, you make thousands of decisions every day. For example, I want to assign a team for a particular project. Should I hire a new team or involve my currently associated employees in a project? Believe me, here your critical thinking plays a crucial role. Effective decision making involves the ability to identify consistently and select the best choice among multiple options. It plays principal role in evaluating new ideas, selecting the best ones and modifying them if necessary. Critical thinking is not only important to improve your professional life, but also for your personal life too. You know something? Critical thinkers are happier and self-reflective. Yes, that's true. I know we don't pay much attention to this. Being in touch with yourself and having a deep understanding of why you think the way you think can really make you happier. Critical thinking can help you better understand yourself and in turn help you avoid any kind of negative or limiting beliefs and focus more on your strengths. Being able to share your thoughts can increase your quality of life. You gain inherent ability to see challenges from several perspectives. By deflecting the reaction to defend their personal beliefs, critical thinkers are more self-reflective and can change their minds and opinions in light of new information. So, here the essence of all this is to ask yourself, why? And this will trigger you to walk on exact direction. Now answer my question. How many of you assume that critical thinking and analytical thinking are one and the same? Got you. Analytical skills are the qualities you possess that help you to assess situations rationally, create effective plans, and overcome obstacles. Analytical thinkers can separate themselves from their emotions in order to work effectively. They usually utilize a process to break down large problems into smaller issues to tackle. These skills are important because they allow people to find solutions to various problems and make concrete decisions and action plans to solve those problems. As mentioned earlier, they are important skills in all disciplines, ranging from data science, project management, marketing, law, medicine, scientific research, accounting, etc. Now, this example will highlight what we have discussed here. In 1968, Dick Fosbury made a record-breaking high jump, winning the gold medal, and completely changed the approach of future athletes towards the high jump. Do you know how this happened? Earlier, certain basic rules were followed by the athletes in high jump. Being a critical thinker, Fosbury asked himself, how else could I jump over this bar? Then he experimented a variety of techniques to improve end results from average to extraordinary. At the time, it looked silly to everyone and he was criticized for his new method. But with his perfect thinking strategy, he won that gold medal. To this day, almost every high jumper uses this method, now known as the Fosbury flop. So be a critical thinker for your every day, every decision, every task of your life, and change the game. To know the tips on how to develop this crucial skill, let's connect with the champion of analytics, Mr. Dinanath Kholkar, the Vice President and Global Head of Analytics and Insights from Tata Consultancy Services. Here I'm giving you another chance to test your critical and analytical skills with one more brain teaser. Post your answer for this brain teaser in comment. What is it which comes once in a year, twice in every month, 4 times in every week, and 6 times in every weekend? To know the exact answer and for more videos, subscribe to Midcon's YouTube channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. Take care.
Hello dear students. Critical thinking and analytical thinking is a very important element that we need to develop as students because it will play a very significant role as you develop into your professional careers. Let me start off by giving an example. I'm sure many of you have heard about the Prime Minister's launch of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which he did on Independence Day 2014. So something very interesting out of that entire program was on building toilets across rural India. Now, you may ask the question, why would a Prime Minister take such a step of announcing on Red Fort, from Red Fort on Independence Day about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and a toilets program? But a very critical element in this aspect was to understand what was it enabling, what was the purpose. When you actually analyze the data, you would find that there were many young girls who were dropping out of school because they didn't have good sanitation, good toilets in their school premises, and hence they would refuse to go to the schools. TCS, the company which I worked for, sponsored and played a very critical role in helping set up these toilets, close to about 100 crores in donations for the toilets program. And we actually collected data on the dropouts and the type of change which we saw in the dropout. Earlier, there was almost about 80% of the girls would drop out of school. You would notice as the toilets got built out and the facilities became better, the number of dropouts came down to almost 15%, so complete flip around. Now, you could possibly look at this as a very good example of critical thinking and analytical thinking. Critical thinking was to reflect upon the fact that there was such a large talent pool in India which was not necessarily getting the opportunity to study further, grow up and come into the workforce. And India as a country could not have afforded to do that. So to think that way and then use a lot of data to actually analyze what was really happening and then play a role in launching a program like this. Just an example to start off with. Let me give you a few more stories. About 3 years back, I, along with my team, came up with a publication. The publication is called Parivartana. Parivartana, as you know, in Sanskrit means transformation. The title of that book was on role of data and analytics in social transformation. And we collected various stories from different walks of life, different people, the type of things that they were doing. And one thing which was common in all of those stories was the level of critical and analytical thinking that these individuals were driving. I would encourage you to download that copy. It is available on the TCS website. If you just search for Parivartana and TCS, you will find it. Let me tell you about a few stories, and these are ones which I have been very closely tracking. The first one is of John Kahan. John Kahan is based in Seattle, works for Microsoft, and many years back, John had a very unfortunate incident in his family. His young son, Aaron Kahan, who was very small, very young as a toddler, he suddenly died. There was no trace of what had happened. There was no illness that he had, and after a detailed analysis, they found that this is something called sudden infant death syndrome that he suffered. And John made a clear-cut mission of his life to actually fight SIDS and find out causes which leads to this particular illness. A very deep thinking person, worked in partnership with various establishments, including the Washington University, the hospitals, various research establishments, also working with TCS Research, and coming up with a lot of data collection around what this illness is and how does it lead to a situation like this. Amazing story. Very strong introspection as to what happened, very strong introspection as to why these type of things should not happen to others, and then using that and then working along with partners on this program, raising funds through Microsoft and various other organizations on a journey which is a long journey, a difficult one, but his focus on enabling that is really remarkable. The next story I want to tell you is about a person right here in Pune. His name is Pradeep Lokhande, and we call him as a dangerous optimist. Pradeep ji, has not educated. Is not very highly educated. He's done very basic level of education. He is known as the postcard man of India. Something very interesting about Pradeep ji. He's been doing this for the last 30 years now. He collects information by sending postcards to rural India. And when you go to any village, and he's studied the entire rural setup very well. So he knows about small villages, he knows about what are called as feeder villages, towns and other things. But what he wanted to do is to collect basic information. And he felt that there are three people who are very critical in any village. You have the Sarpanch, you have the postmaster, and you have the headmaster. And he would actually send postcards to them asking for some very basic information. And you should hear the story. And Pradeep Bhau has a TED Talk, and I would encourage you to look for Pradeep Lokhande and watch his TED Talk. When he sent out these postcards first asking for information, obviously people said, "Who are you? Why are you asking for this information?" And it was a complete failure in the initial set. Then he realized that if you straight away ask people for information, they will not want to provide you. So the critical thinking element came into play, and he felt that let us do something different. Let us try out a different way. So the next set of cards that he sent out, these are postcards. In those days it used to be a 15 paise postcard which used to be there, and it used to have a return postcard. So you can actually send. So the person who is sending back that information doesn't have to pay for it, just detaches it and sends that return postcard. So the next time he sent out, he just sent Happy Diwali, Diwalicha Shubhecha messages to the people. And some people then started realizing that this is a well-meaning person wanting to interact and connect, and they started sending information. And that's how the entire process started. If you actually visit Pradeep Bhau's office, you would find a collection of these postcards which have come from roughly about 50 to 60,000 villages across India, and it is simply amazing to see the wealth of knowledge that he has about rural India. And why is it important for him? And you probably, if you look at the current situation which is there, where we are all digitally connected, a lot of our information is available with the likes of all the e-retailers and things like that. Pradeep Babu started this program in 1993 at the time when there was very little infiltration of internet, very little mobility solutions, but he was able to create something very unique as a product. And he's been using this data for the work that he does. And he's not doing this as a social cause, but he does this for creating a channel for various consumer products into rural India. So that's the second story about how he has analyzed a situation very well, done a lot of critical thinking, used a lot of data, and then be able to serve that particular community which is in rural India. And he is, as I said, a dangerous optimist. And given the current situation that we are in, where we have digitally connected, we have a great amount of opportunity to use that larger base of the rural India to help India develop even further. That's the second story. The third story is of Pratima Joshi. Pratima is an architect by profession, and she's done some amazing work in rural sanitation. So the toilets program in India, has a very large significance because of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But Pratima started her work almost 25 years back. As a young architect, graduated out of architecture college, starting to look at rural sanitation and looking at different localities and especially the slums as such, and how do we actually enable toilets in the slums, and then using different types of data sets. Again, deep amount of introspection, using critical thinking on understanding what technology can I use, how can I use data. And I look at them as a phenomenal NGO which is working using tremendous amount of data, and then they have augmented it with a lot of new technologies and new data sets which are coming in. Google Earth has been one of their biggest partners, and they have been able to use Google Earth to map each and every aspect of a town. Just to give an example, if you look at slums in the city of Pune, they have now geocoded each and every home in that slum area, and then looking at how can they provide toilets within that particular household or a common community toilet and things like that. An amazing example out of this entire thing. So these are three examples that I wanted to give you and share with you as real example, real life stories, the impact that people have made. And the reason I want to share with you these stories is that it is always good to learn from what's happening around us. And these are very simple people. These are common people just like you and me. These are people who have made a very big impact with their critical and analytical thinking. And learning from how somebody has gone through this entire process is an amazing way of learning and building up your skills. Let me shift gears and talk about something completely different. We've just launched the TCS Sustainathon in the city of Pune. This is an ideation platform which is primarily focused on looking at what we can do to improve things in the city of Pune, aligned to the goal that we have set for the city of Pune to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030. Now, it is very important to understand that it is not something which only the government is going to do or the administration is going to do, and only the people who are responsible for some of these areas will be looking at it. It is the citizens, it is the youngsters, it is the people of the future who will have to look at providing solutions and ideas for this. And we said we will create this type of a platform where we could have people participate into this. Now, this did not come up just like this out of the blue. We actually started these discussions almost 2 years back when Pune International Center, which is a think tank in Pune, came up with this paper on Pune carbon neutral by 2030. And Dr. Vijay Kelkar actually shared this paper with me. Dr. Vijay Kelkar, those of you who do not know, is Padma Vibhushan and an architect of the GST program that has been launched in India. And he's been an amazing bureaucrat, has played a very significant role in policy making and stuff like that. And Vijay Kelkar sir told me that we've come up with this paper, but we will definitely need help in execution around it. So it started off at that stage about 2 years back when the paper was launched, and we said let's look at what can we really do. So as a group of my colleagues, we started discussing how can TCS as an organization participate and contribute towards it. Last year in Singapore, TCS launched Sustainathon along with the Singapore government and a couple of our customers. And we felt, hey, look, this looks to be a good platform. Let's look at replicating this. So good amount of analysis of what type of problems, who can be partners, who can be the problem, who will focus on those problems. How do we involve the people and things like that? What is the type of process we need to follow to launch this and ensure that this gets successful? Was all the effort that we were able to put together. When you look at where we are today, we are in the phase where we are asking students to register for the Sustainathon, and it is just the first launch event that we are doing. It is on the theme of waste management, and it is a student edition where we are asking students of 8th grade to 12th grade to do one set of problems, and the undergraduate and postgraduate students like yourself to participate in themes around waste management. And the ideation that you will come up with has to be something which is really out of the box, new ideas, new ways of doing things, usage of technology, usage of collaboration between industry, academia, with the administration to make a difference. And I think this is something which I feel that when you look at how does one build up these type of things, is volunteering and participating in these type of initiatives will play a very significant role. So I would encourage you as students to participate in some of these events. There is great amount of opportunity to volunteer. There will be conferences, there are various city level initiatives which happen, and even after you graduate and you finish your post graduation and you get into your professional world, you will have opportunities to volunteer, and this is something you will be able to get close to some real life problem and learn from some of the experts and people who are well experienced, and how they think, how they analyze a particular problem, how they think about the problem and things like that would be very useful. So I would encourage you to look at such opportunities, and I always recommend people to take a professional membership. I have been very actively involved with IEEE as such in Pune as a region, as a section, and contributing to it as a volunteer. And I encourage a lot of the students to participate into these things as well. So to summarize, as a student, start looking around for some of these things, and there is a considerable amount of information which is available, which is shared. If you can watch TED Talks, there are various examples, case studies which are all published. Analyze it in detail about what was the real problem, how did the person think about that problem as being a very significant one, and if you solve that particular problem, it could make a very big impact towards it. So there are various things that we have been doing in the city of Pune. I have been personally involved in working in the field of education, especially the higher education field, looking at how can we prepare people for the upcoming challenges, upcoming opportunities which are there. I've been very closely associated with agriculture, and specifically looking at how do you bring in new technologies to help the agriculture setup, how can students participate. The pandemic opened up a completely new avenue for us, and we have created a special interest group on healthcare and looking at AI as a very big technology play in solving problems around healthcare. And lastly, and I talked about the Sustainathon event, but core of it is about cities of India and future cities, and how we will shape up smart cities in India, and how this can play a very significant role in you participating in it, you being very much concerned about some of these areas, and hence building up that thought process. So this is what I would like to share with you on this particular topic, and would be happy to connect with all of you. Do follow me on LinkedIn as well as on Twitter. I keep on sharing a lot of these interesting things which happen, and there are quite a few people who are influencers and who play a very significant role in helping shaping your thought process as you grow professionally. Thank you and all the best.